What's going on, guys? It's Music Player 1979 coming from West Texas tonight, January 14th, 2015. I've darkened the picture quite a bit. This is a beautiful sunset. I mean, just spectacular. Now, the colors are just amazing as well. You have the pure divide between several different shades here. Okay, I mean, you can clearly see the tomato color shifting to the yellow and then to the beautiful salmon pink. Beautiful, guys. And then it shades itself into the grays. But it's what's in front of us too that is so deceiving. If you start to take a look at this area here, okay, you can see where it creates itself as almost a mist about it. Within these misty areas, you have, again, shadows that are very large and dark. Okay. Now this misty area is because of the fresh interaction from the oxide, because of these objects are moving through this cloud. Clearly, there are objects everywhere. You can see the lining of travel. Okay, we have a southwest towards a northeast direction. Okay, and you can see the beautiful curved linings with it almost dropping down beneath the cloud as these larger objects create the trail, the opening. If you look within this, folks, you can see objects, and they're everywhere. Everywhere. It's beautiful. If we start here up top, you can see 4 distinctive lines. They come out from a distance and come down as if this were a hill, and it were coming down this hill. Now again, we have to think about this when we're looking at this, the depth of perception. Okay, look at these small ones. It's incredible. Now clearly this is west-southwest. Now the angular of approach would signify to me right away that this came out of the distance at the southwest side. Okay, going northeast, our northeast. Okay, so as it comes down, it bends. It's beautiful, it bends. These will continue to move down and turn and do everything that these objects are doing now. Okay, there are objects here everywhere. They've just made a turn here in this area, and they are now going from the southwest over to the southeast area. Okay, guys, it's hard to fathom, but we do live in the time, and we have to accept what the eyes are showing us. Now, as we pause here, this shows you a closer view of the top southwest area with multiple objects, okay, coming down in a specific area, as if, again, they were coming down a hill. You can see the ripples that take effect as this drops in elevation every time. Okay, and again, this creates, I believe, Stairway to Heaven, you know, or Jacob's Ladder. Now, as it's coming down, it has beautiful lighting with it. Okay, now everything, look at by the thousands, and they're interacting right here. Okay, now they are interacting here because of the cloud, all right, that they are smashing into, creating again the mist, the fresh interaction of oxide. Okay, now you can see these beautiful by the thousands are coming down right here. Okay, they're going to come down and they're going to do the same thing right here. It's beautiful, but it takes time, guys. It's something that you have to watch. And with the shadowing the sun gives as it goes beneath the horizon, we lose all visibility of the system whatsoever, that it even existed. We wait the time it takes to see it again. I mean, it's pretty incredible, guys. But you can see the mist and the angle, okay, that everything's traveling. I mean, it's truly incredible. But the closer that we get, the more you'll be able to make out. It's incredible. The ships that people talk about that are coming with the system, the objects that are with this system create that feature. Again, creating stories. Now, these objects, guys, some of them look just like ships with purity. Everything about them is perfect. The system creates, again, life. You can see right here again, we have the stairway effect. And we have objects here, guys. They're black, they're dark. They're everywhere. I've changed the colors again. You can see them here. I'll bring them down just for a minute. You can see the brightness is completely gone. Contrast just up a little bit. We've taken advantage of the hue and saturation. You can see this is just the awesomeness of this. How it can just look so beautiful. Look at these. Like they're splashing off onto something. And the runoffs here. Look at all this. Look at the shadowing here. And all these objects coming in to one another. And it's incredible. But this is what the system looks like, folks. This is very real. This is very real. You can see just the edges of each and everything. Look at the angel. Beautiful angel, guys. Now, I know the color is manipulated, but it's to show you the uniqueness in this. This is what we have here, okay? Look, we have objects. This is one. We have another large one here. I'm assuming this is a very large one. Large, guys. Okay. Now, we have ones underneath as well that are creating this disturbance. But let's not forget that each one of these lines, each one of them that is being drawn out beautifully, has an object at the end. Each one of them. Okay. Revelations is completely clear of what it speaks about when it says the objects will come by the thousands and the thousands upon thousands. Okay. I wanted to pause here because I want you guys to realize the true nature of this and just how phenomenal it is. Now, this is our moon at the angle of the lines, okay, that are going from the right to the left. This would mean that this object is going from the south towards the north in some direction. Okay. But this shows you the mass of it all. It's amazing, guys. Amazing. And I'm amazed. And when I started going through this, I couldn't believe that I was catching it like I was. And its beauty. Everything. It may take you a minute to go through this. But guys, pause it. Go as slow as you need to go. It's there. Look at this. Look at that. Look at that object. Right there. Look at this one coming out of this cloud. Right here. It's coming right out. And look at these. Just go around and turn. This right here is the prominent area. This is what is holding this object. Okay? This is holding it, throwing this large object up and around and back under. This is not NIBIRU itself. This is just one of the 7 with that. This is how large these are getting, guys. This is incredible. It truly is heartbreaking how closed-minded people are becoming. It is amazing, though, and it keeps you going when you realize the sheer amount of acceptance and just the ability to go outside and see it. See these just spectacular events, guys. So as this hand holds this, of course, we have runoff from the objects on top of this main hand, okay? That is having to go all the way down and around instead of like these are, coming from the top and out. You can plainly see it here. Okay, very thick, thins out. This is where the new interaction is taking place. This is the front, okay, of all the objects that create themselves, okay, with their debris past this object. You can see the smaller ones. And you have to remember that in this particular instance, we have objects that are going every which way. This is plain to see just by the interaction that takes place here. Okay? It's a large object here, guys. Large. You can see the trough that it sits in. Look right here. Okay, this is a very flat area. Very flat. This just had a large object create this. And all of these smaller ones are going around following that path. Okay, because in each area, guys, each area defines itself through its movement. This is the realism. And guys, we're looking at it every day. It's just taking a moment of your time for the ones that don't see it yet to just look up and pay attention as the clouds are coming to you. There are 3 holds to every planet. Okay, every prominent one that draws attention to it. By the time these objects go over this particular object that these hands are holding, okay, it'll go over, it'll make the 3rd one. It's already being held by the hand, being gripped from the sides, and now objects by the billions are coming down over it. But I've slowed this down because this gives you the idea of the nature of how delicate each and everything has to one another, from the very large ones, okay, to the small ones that are scattered all throughout. There have been multiple times that large objects have been visible for people to look up and look at. I stood out in my mom's front yard. I looked up towards the east, 50 degrees, and said, "Mom, look." It was there and it was gone 20 seconds later. The movements that this system is making just in the last couple weeks is just, it's phenomenal. We're not doing the 6-7 day chart anymore. We're doing the 2 or 3 day chart. It's important to note everything. When you think you see something odd, this formation, of course, this one in particular, it has an icy feel to it. Everything within it creates very subtle. And this is when you're able to make these large objects out. This system draws that. Very unique and beautiful. And as it closes itself, the things that are inside it, these small things, become more defined. This goes back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and it weaves itself. It's beautiful. It is beautiful. It's a dance it's been doing for billions of years. Gravity holds the main object and its main objects together. There have been objects, guys, that have been passing us for a good year. I've seen a couple large ones that I know others have seen as well. And they just say, what the heck, but nobody says anything, so everything's good. Say to a large black object floating across space that NASA didn't tell anybody about with a little tiny debris trail behind it. You know? I mean, what would you say? I didn't say anything. I just said, holy cow, something bad is going to happen. Something bad's going on and we're not being told about it. But it starts with the biggest and leads to the beautiful smaller ones, very minutely small. Okay, and then gravity from the biggest of those hold it and pull it back. And it does it again and again, but only more prominent every time. For those of you that have watched my videos for the last couple of years, know the difference. You can see it. It being defined within itself. It's no longer a chase for the system. It takes us back to forgetting about what your eyes believe you see. Because when we look up at the sky, 75% of the time, they're going to say it's a cloud. Because it changes so rapidly. Especially the larger objects, guys. But if you pay attention to these small things, you know, these are going literally over the top of it. And again, this is, of course, the same system. Same time, we've just turned around towards the sun. The lining effect again. We're coming down at a 45. And of course, right away, we're connecting to something that is large. Okay? And again, as the camera moves, it draws its influence, okay, its focus to different areas. It's very beautiful. Look over here too, as we pan towards the right, west, southwest area here at the moment. And we're going to be panning to the due west side. The due west side, you'll notice a large dark object here. And of course, this is what is influencing this area. That's what is creating the smoothness, because the gravity is being pulled all which ways around this object. Okay, they already feel that interaction. But you can see all of it as we zoom slowly in. You can start seeing the objects that are entangled in this mess, that have their own debris trail. But again, as we find ourselves back towards the west, southwest side, we can see just the interaction that's taken place and the symbolisms that it makes. It's incredible. Just because you see what resembles to be our atmospheric color does not mean the system is not behind that color. Now, of course, as this moves, you're going to start seeing strange formations. But of course, as the camera angles itself, changes itself through the light aperture of everything around its surroundings, it cuts most of this stuff out. So it takes the patience to understand it. You can see the hold it has on this large object. You can see the lining effects from objects coming around it. This one as well looks to be coming this way. And believe me, guys, this is only one small part of it. Okay, all this interaction is only being shown because of the size of the object and its particular location and the reflection the sun's giving it. Smaller objects by the hundreds, okay? They're all following one another down. Okay, and they create lines, beautiful lines, right next to one another. This is prominent here. Okay, this continues. And as it moves, and our sun moves, we'll see more and more cast itself out, okay, to be visible to us. It's just amazing to see all of the defined aspects and turns and the beauty it creates while doing so. We'll slow it down a bit. Okay, right away I see two prominents. One here and one here. Now this is only one area of what's taking place. Okay, these are throwing themselves over. Okay, these are large hands that have come out with large objects on the ends of them. You see how they turn. Okay, and with all of the interaction coming around this large object, objects again are going every which way and coming out of areas that we cannot see. We have the patterns, the straight patterns, okay, coming down to 45 with the moons by the hundreds next to each other. Okay, and then yet again, look, we have it here with hundreds more. Okay, and then you have a sudden change here with the brightly lit oxide, fresh interaction. Okay, and again it starts to fade on the edges because of the lighting again. These pictures are the colors that are coming with this system in the south. There are other prominent ones that are making themselves known as well. But the prominence in the south with the color, the tomato color, tomato red, seems to be as if it were a lantern that was lit. It creates a sudden dimness and then a subtle brightness about it. Very, very unique, and the Bible speaks of this. I want to thank you again for coming to the channel, viewing the videos. I hope everybody had a wonderful Christmas and New Year. And I want everybody to be safe during this time. Until next time, it's been Music Player 1979, coming from West Texas. Much love. What's going on, guys? It's Music Player 1979 coming from West Texas tonight, January 14th, 2015. I've darkened the picture quite a bit. This is a beautiful sunset. I mean, just spectacular. Now, the colors are just amazing as well. You have the pure divide between several different shades here. Okay, I mean, you can clearly see the tomato color shifting to the yellow and then to the beautiful salmon pink. Everywhere. It's beautiful. If we start here up top, you can see four distinctive lines. They come out from a distance and come down as if this were a hill and it were coming down this hill. Now again, we have to think about this when we're looking at this, the depth of perception. Okay, look at these small ones. It's incredible. Now clearly this is west-southwest. Now the angular of approach would signify to me right away that this came out of the distance at the southwest side. Okay, going northeast, our northeast. Okay, so as it comes down, it bends. It's beautiful, it bends. These will continue to move down and turn and do everything that these objects are doing now. Okay, there are objects here everywhere. They've just made a turn here in this area, and they are now going from the southwest over to the southeast area. Okay, through this cloud, clearly there are objects everywhere. You can see the lining of travel. Okay, we have a southwest towards a northeast direction. Okay, and you can see the beautiful curved linings with it almost dropping down beneath the cloud as these larger objects create the trail, the opening. If you look within this, folks, you can see objects, and they're beautiful, guys. And then it shades itself into the grays. But it's what's in front of us, too, that is so deceiving. If you start to take a look at this area here, okay, you can see where it creates itself as almost a mist about it. Within these misty areas, you have, again, shadows that are very large and dark. Okay. Now this misty area is because of the fresh interaction from the oxide, because of these objects are moving through